This is the Blackout Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people doing amazing things. And today I'm super happy to have Rockman. Thank you for coming on the show.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Well, you reached out and I was like, man, this person is super interesting. So before we get into it, let's just have a little bit of a background about Rockman.
For sure. I don't know. I grew up in the north end of Halifax, Mulgrave Park. And that's where I'm from. And I don't know. I grew up I didn't go to school. You know what I mean? I grew up in the streets. So I grew up learning different things, I guess. And that's how my childhood was really. But that's cool. It just made me learn and adapt. And I grew up as a man, had a son, changed my life a little bit and tried to focus more on positive things and making myself more positive, like getting my GED, going to truck school. I started a business with XCDC in Antigonish, a small business that I did with that way back, the musical East Coast. I don't know. I did all kinds of things. I got all kinds of skills. I planted trees. I worked for Apple. I don't know, man. I record. Everyone knows me as Jay Wild. I did a lot. I do a lot. And I don't know. I just tried to keep it moving.
Why did you stop recording?
I fell in love with music. I just didn't love it anymore like I used to.
How?
Do you know how it's like if you have to record 70 songs and how much money that takes and process and all that stuff to go through and still be feeling like you're in the same position you were when you started? Like it was just me. It wasn't like I had 10 people or 20 people are doing it. So like I just did it because I loved it. Really, I didn't have the skills or the tools to put it all together to be the package to do it. You know what I mean? I was better than most of them people though. But check that out. But yeah, I just didn't have the other parts of the whole package to get it done. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it something you ever get back into?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
Wow.
I see big picture now, bro. It's bigger than that.
So let's talk about the big picture. Being as an African Nova Scotian and, things like the police checks and things like that, what do you feel about that? Let's start with that.
Bro, I've been getting police checked and stopped my whole life. And, I don't know. Like I said, I was a demon child for real. Like, it was no joke. But, whatever. The police and me, I've always had some kind of interaction with the police as a child. So it, I don't know, conditioned me for this type of stuff. So stuff that goes on like that doesn't really affect me as much as it should because I'm kind of numb to all these issues from been doing it my whole life. My grandfather was the last black D-Day vet ever.
What's his name?
Gerald Parris. And his father was on the stamp for the 2nd Construction Battalion.
Oh, wow.
And his name's Selden Parris. Like they went to war with shovels, bro. In that war, they went to front line, shovel, no gun. That's crazy. And that's like how my family fought to be here. But anyways, my grandfather's the last black D-Day vet ever. Comes back from war. He trains or whatever people in the military, watches them come up to sergeants because they're white while he remains a private, stuff like that. He comes back home. He's not even accepted in his own legion in Spring Hill. Like, that's ridiculous to me. But he didn't even get bitter. He started his own legion and stuff like that. Cool. But even still, when they had a reunion for his unit or whatever in Ontario, he didn't even get invited, and he read about it in the Legion magazine. Like, that's crazy, bro.
Wow.
So, like, to me, I see how far racism goes back for real in real life. Like, they sent my great-grandfather back to war with no gun because they didn't even want us having guns, bro. But he sacrificed enough to go with a shovel and did that. That's crazy, bro. So I can't not feel the way I do and passionate as I am because I feel like I earned the right. Like, my other grandparents are from Africville. You know what I mean? Like, they erased Africville, pretty much. Bulldozed the whole city down. All my great-grandmother's house. All that. The church. All that. That's real to me. So when I think of all the stuff that they had to go through to get me to here, then I get passionate about that. And I don't think I don't know. I just get passionate about it. I'm passionate about life. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't always this passionate about being positive. And I had the me attitude that everyone seems to have in life. And that's cool, too, if that's what you're trying to do, right? Like, if you're just trying to do yourself and do me, that's fine if that's what you're doing. But, like, if you're going to be a position of power or someone in the community that has the title of leader or something like that, community leader, activist, whatever you want to be, you get to hold accountable for stuff like that too, and you should be wanting to lead with the best foot forward, and it shouldn't be a me thing, because something that lives with you dies with you. That's it.
Yeah. And okay, so when you decided, I guess, what was the catalyst for you? What was the thing that kickstarted you deciding to go on this journey you're on now?
That honestly, I was trying to start out by, I just wanted. It really started with Africville to me because I wanted to know more about my history that I realized I didn't know. Like I knew all the basic facts and stuff like that, like when it started and Africville reunions, and but like I didn't know all the deep history that you can't find like just by googling a couple of words. And so I dove deep as I could into it, like every picture, every report, every anything, Africville, every newscast, everything, and that
So,
way I
did
found
you
it.
use the resource at the Africville Museum or
No, I did not.
no?
The museum. Don't get me wrong. The museum's a good place to go to and go take in the culture firsthand, live in person, and stuff like that. Like that is a great place for that, and I recommend everyone should go do that. Like go to the museum and check it out and learn how Africville history's like. And it's great for that. But like as far as on the internet, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like I don't know. There should I shouldn't have to create a website my own self. Anyways, I look at it like this. What about the people that don't live in Halifax or that don't live anywhere around here? Our people from Africville are all over the place. Oh my bad. So how are they supposed to take in anything Africville if there's nothing Africville centralized to one place? Like how are they supposed to get any of it? Like if they're not here, the museum's not going to help them take in anything Africville because they're not here. They're not going to get a chance to go to the museum ever. So that's why in 2020 almost we have to make sure that we're active in those areas on social media and the internet. The internet's crazy now, bro. It's not like people live on the internet. People getting paid all day out here doing podcasts and doing whatever. Like you can go see like people like T.I. or Master P, Eric Tom, whoever you want to look for. But this is the vehicle that is driving 2020. It's the internet. You know what I mean? All these little things are just parts of like that, but you got to evolve and you have to grow and move with the times or you're going to get stuck flat-footed and that's what it is, right? You can't just keep thinking the same and thinking it's going to work. Yeah. And at the end of the day, the Africville people are all dying. Like, unfortunately. Like, my great-grandmother is old. She's 90-something years old. Like, you know what I mean? She's one of the last original people that had a home there. You know what I mean? How are we holding those people up or even giving them the respect that they're due by just not even doing more stuff that's centralized, focused on that type of thing? You know what I mean?
Like,
as an organizational standpoint.
Yeah. You know, talking about that, I was just personally myself, I don't know, but like, does Africville have an Instagram or something like this?
Nah. The African Museum, they do have a Facebook page, but they're not active enough. There's a couple different organizations when they come to Africville that, I don't know, I looked up to my whole everything. Like, it's important to me.
Yeah.
Like, they, because, like, I don't know, like, the apology for Africville was a huge thing. Like, when does the government ever apologize for anything they do? That's crazy. So, yeah, they took everything from us, but at the end of the day, we had them apologize. But the people did that. You know what I mean? I look at it from, like, the people made that happen. The Rocky Jones and the Joan and the Africville Genealogy Society and all the people that went with it. They fought for that for, like, I don't know how many years, too many years, 30 years, however long it took, too long. Mm-hmm. But at the point I'm trying to make is they fought and they never gave up to do that. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not like it's just given away to anybody like that. But I think at the same time, we just can't let it just fade away. And we have to still keep trying to do things to make it better. Because at the end of the day, $3.5 million is not that much money to erase that whole piece of land, man, to build a church. You know what I mean? And that's my opinion. I know everyone got different opinions, whatever. It's all good. But this is my opinion. Mm-hmm. And, yeah. But, like, what do you think that Africville land is worth right now? That waterfront property, prime land right now, if they were condos, let's say, how much do you think one of those condo units would be right now? Do you know how much the condo units are up on the hill? A lot of money. That's my point, right? So, like, at the end of the day, I look at it like they erased all that generational wealth that would have been able even to access for any of my people, me included. You know what I mean? How are we going to get revenue or gain anything from that? $3.5 million is not that much money. Like, when you have a whole big-ass building that you're trying to manage and run like a business, because it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. It functions like a business. Yeah. Red and black. So at the end of the day, you have to look at it from that perspective. And you have to have a business plan that's conductive with what you're trying to do and who you're trying to reach. So if that's not where it's at, then you got to revise that business plan.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Because, like, how are you going to reach your target market if it's still doing the same thing, but it's not reaching the people that you're trying to reach? You're obviously doing it wrong. So the longer you go on the wrong path is the longer that it's not working, is the more you're hurting. You know what I mean? It's like if you turn around now, but when you get lost and you get back the right way, oh, you can get there. Go walk for 2 hours. Then you just got to walk 2 hours back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not walking no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't walk no more. So, like, that's all I feel about that. And I don't know. I try to help. Like, I did a lot. I did all that myself. You know what I mean? I tried to help through the museum.
What are some things you did to help?
By creating that whole website myself when I shouldn't. But, like, before that, I've been to every Africville.
What is the URL for the website?
Oh, the website is iamafricville.com. Check it out. I guarantee you'll find something new. Guaranteed. But because I just thought that, I don't know, it's 2020. You know how valuable the internet is in your websites.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if it wasn't mobile optimized, would that be a problem for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, a big problem?
Yep.
Exactly my point. So if that's a big problem for you, it should be a big problem for them because theirs isn't. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
They got budgets where they're spending big money and stuff like that. They got all these positions and executive directors and hiring people and doing all these, whatever they do for, I don't know, it's CRA information because it's public. It's like they spent like $350,000 last year. Like, okay. But like, we should be able to focus that a little bit more better, right? And we should have some say.
Have you had a meeting with them?
I have every meeting with them. What do you mean, brother? I've been everywhere talking to everybody just like this. So it's not I'm coming up here and talking anything. I'm just sick of talking to people all over the place. So it's easier for me to come here and just talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then I can talk to everyone at once, and it's just easier to me. And at the end of the day, it's about the bigger picture to me. It's about coming together as one. But you can't heal from something until you learn what's hurting and what the wrong is. But if you don't fix that issue, then it's just you can't build on that foundation because you're not acknowledging that we need to fix anything. So then nothing gets fixed. So then the people that are all under you, they're the ones that eventually hurt because the longer you go, the worse it is. So why don't we just fix it? It's okay to be wrong. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, it's important the work you're doing, and I mean, especially using social media, because let's just be honest, everyone is on there. At least Instagram and Facebook, at least. So if a body isn't pushing their social networks properly, then that is a problem. That's a red flag, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And like, at the end of the day, to me, it's like my people, like, I go to Africa every year and it's like the reunion, and that's like the big thing for my people. Like, that's when we all come back and we set up trailers where our Nan's houses used to be, and we put our trailers there and we all drink, and it's like everyone there is family, like the whole place. So it's just like one big party, and it's cool, and everyone's reminiscing about them times, but everyone else is reminiscing about their own times, and it's just a big party. But so it's important to me. So if it's not getting, I don't know, the proper type of light shown on it, how it is, it's not going to be important to everybody because it's slowly dying off. If you don't shine a light on something, go give a plant no light and see what happens to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You won't have nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to shine some lights on the good parts of it and show you what it's really about and keep it going in a way that it's reaching out to the people and touching the people that is your demographic, which is there's thousands of people from Africa, all kinds of kids running around, all kinds of little Africa kids generation. You know what I mean? Like, my nan and them guys had like a lot of brothers and sisters. I got like 6,000 cousins. I'm not even joking though. Like, I got like 6,000 cousins. Like, I'm related to everybody around here.
Yeah.
But like, it's not just me. That's my whole point. Everybody else they got 6,000 cousins too. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, everything I'm saying is not exclusive to me, and that's the whole point of it. It's the bigger picture.
But they're like, I mean, so there are some names that are doing, or at least trying to do some positive to shine light on the experience of Black or African Nova Scotians.
There is. There's a couple people out here doing some good big things. Here's the people that come to mind when I think of these people. I think of people like, I don't know, Mario Rao. He put on that men's health conference at Dalhousie. That was the best thing ever in life, bro. Like, at the end of the day, like, I never seen that much power in one room under one, like, with one narrative. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we were all here for this one thing, but like, everyone was just like, it was organized. And the conversations that we did have, like with all the different leaders and their little workshops, was huge, bro. Like, who was over there? Ken Fells, that's my dog. Oh my God. Ken Fells is that guy out there. He speaks the truth, but that's what I like about it. Like, he's not all about the show and all that type of stuff. Yeah, Ken Fells. Who else? Professor David Devine speaks that truth, man. Like, it's not no sugarcoating anything like that. Who else spoke up there? Andreas Robinson, a young cat. Oh man, when I mean he's powerful, man. They're the people that we got to put up and actually, you know what I mean? Like this your same brother got knowledge. He's intelligent. You got to put him up. He's the next thing. Put him up now. Like, he needs support. Who else? Derico Simons. Oh man, he's another one that he's young and he's out here actually doing things for real and actually articulating the message that has substance to it. You know what I mean? He's not just out here saying nothing, a bunch of nothing. And you know what I mean? He's trying to make actionable changes and stuff like that. Like, that's what's really going to work. Who else? 902 Man Up. They do good stuff all through the community because they're actually the only real group that actually are really in the streets like that all the time. They're a grassroots organization, so they don't have any budget or anything like that. That's kind of, and like, I don't know, man, like they help a lot of people, but they're grassroots. You can't do much when you don't have much money or no resources, right? But like, they're the actual people that are actually putting on the forums, putting on the conferences, all that stuff at the library. That's what they're doing. They do all kinds of stuff, but they even do stuff in like the community and stuff like that, but it just doesn't get out as much as it should. And then all these things that are out there, it's like for nothing. You know what I mean? So the people that deserve the gratification don't get it, and the people that are getting the gratification don't deserve it.
So here's the question though. Why do you think those people that are out there and known and have thousands and thousands of followers, why do you think their platform is known more than these people that are actually in the streets and in the community actually doing the work?
You said it. That's exactly why. Because the people that are actually out in the streets doing the work are out in the streets doing the work. For instance, like Craig Wright and his brother Juno, they're putting on, I know mics don't like that, but they're putting on a fundraiser where their donations are soup, vegetable and chicken noodle soup, winter hats and gloves, and they're doing that for the Salvation Army, the Turning Point, all these different, but you'll never hear that on the news. You know what I mean? He's not actually trying to do it for the news. He's doing it for the people that are cold and hungry and soups and sandwiches and they need to eat and they need hats and winter gloves. You'll never hear stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's the people I like. They're my guys. You know what I mean? I would never come on here and talk about all the organizations that have all my clothes. Then when I go and give them 20 polo shirts, that's not my style. That's not classy at all. But shout out to the guys wearing them. You know what I mean? I never would shout them out for that where I took my 10, 15 pairs of sneakers. I'm not on social media being like, hey, I'm going down to wherever I'm going and giving away stuff. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. That's not you doing it from your heart. When you do stuff from, bro, if you knew how many people I helped in real life on a day-to-day basis, it would blow your mind. I'm like a psychologist. Like, I could show you, but I wouldn't because I'd violate them. But my phone's crazy, bro. Like, I help people in real life. You know what I mean? I stop stuff in real life. So, like, to me, this is real life. You know what I mean? It's not a game. Like, people think it's a game because they're sitting up doing the same thing for the whole time, but it's not a game. Because now you're not messing up it for yourself. You're messing it up for the people coming up under and all, like, my kids. You think I care about me? Bro, you think I could put this much energy into myself and then I wouldn't be whatever waving like them? I'd be waving better than them. What do you mean? I'd be doing the two-hand wave. You know what I mean? Like, what you mean, bro? I'm doing this for my people because I believe in us. Yeah. And that's the only reason that I go so hard like I do.
But do you think, like, they do believe what they're saying, though, that these people that are out there doing these things, like, I mean, they have to at least at some point have done something for the community and for people before they started having this platform, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, like they do have to. That's the whole point. You have to do stuff, and I don't know. Your actions have to match your words. You know what I mean? So like, some people out here doing stuff. I don't even know what they do. Like, they're just out here. They're activated. They do every kind of activism. They write books. They write poems. They visit jails. They do all kinds of stuff. They got 5,000 Twitter followers and 20 likes. I get 20 likes on my little couple hundred followers. Come on now. What's them engagement rates like? Come on now, girl. What are you talking about? Get out of here. What does she... I don't even know what she does. Do you know what Elle Jones does? What is she an
She's
activist for?
She's like a poet, right? I believe.
What is she? What would you tell me she is?
I need to read more about.
Okay, see, you don't even know what Elle Jones does. That's what I'm saying. Like, go on her page. You just see her complaining. She don't get no awards. She only got one award in the last whenever. She don't get no jobs. It's because you're out there antagonizing people with your messages, and then you're mad when they come for you. Like, what are you doing? That's not productive. That's why no one really messes with Elle Jones. Go look at her likes. They're not black people. You're supposed to be a black activist, I think, but I don't know what she does. I don't even know. You said she's a poet. Like, I don't know. And like, bro, I don't know. I don't know what to think. What am I supposed to say? Yeah, I don't know. She be talking about writing poems and stuff for people in jail, bro. I know people in jail. I don't never heard nothing about no poems. What you talking about? Get out of here. Do you really know what's going on in that jail, girl? I don't think so. Like, don't stop this nonsense. You just put on a thing at the I seen her posting all week about that little thing she was putting on with that little strike down at that forum with the political things. She couldn't even make the news on her own thing she published or that was promoting. Like, bro, Elle, you didn't even make the news, but like that was sad. They put the other activists up there though. Shout out to her. But yeah, don't play with me, Elle, for real.
Wow. Well.
And I only said that
Yeah.
because she had jokes in my DMs talking about to ruffle some feathers. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know, man. I was trying to stir up some stuff to get people activated, like Elle. Just give them better direction. You know what I mean? Not just spruing out everywhere like a rainbow. Like, that ain't gonna work. She ain't Captain Planet. She's gotta be a Care Bear. Like, shine that energy, girl. Get out of here. Don't play with me. Not today. I'm done playing with y'all. For real. Like, leave me alone. Trust me, I'm done playing.
So
get with me. Like, that's it.
So it's like you kind of have direction and focus, and you feel some people
don't. Straight don't. Like, I don't know. There's all kinds of people. Ask Quintrell what kind of day he had on social media yesterday. You know what I mean? Ask him how he felt or how the people felt about him in real life. He's on there apologizing on his own his Facebooks and stuff like that. He must have had a bad day because he said people were calling him names and all this other types of stuff.
Well, like, he just met Obama the other day.
Man, what's that got to do with anything?
Okay.
He met Obama. Who cares? What'd he do? What does that mean? In real life, in actuality. It gives him validity to be what? Well, I seen him at the... Okay, check this out. Shout out Quintrell Provo. So I just seen him at the apology when he was up there shaking hands with the police and stuff like that. I seen him there. I seen him all the time. Me, I got love for everybody. If you go look at my websites and my blog on my I Am Africville website, the blog, man, I did my own little write-up on Quintrell Provo probably 2 years ago. I did that just because I wanted to big him up. Go look at that whole blog. It's me bigging up everybody. From Lindell Smith, Quintrell, Hope Blooms, whoever, Castillo Clayton, anyone I think's doing big, I'll big up. You can go back years and years and years, and I shit Alex Ross.
That's family over fame, yeah.
Yeah, but I big up everyone forever, forever, forever. Not with the expectation of wanting anything back. I don't need anything from anybody. I've never did my whole life. Like, no one has given me really much shit. So why would I need anyone's validation? I don't need your money. I need your support. You know what I mean? In that type of instance. So like, it's never about me to me. That's the whole point. If I wanted I want us to do us because we deserve so much more. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to get better unless we all bring it into one together and have one kind of brainstorming type of conversation to try to work out a solution and trying to get organized a little bit instead of just trying to run around trying to wave the flag.
With Quintrell and the apology, wouldn't you say that's kind of a positive way, like good leg forward?
What's the positive part you're saying?
Like with the apology with Quintrell and the police the other day.
Man, that apology wasn't for him. Let's get that out there. He was just up there on the news. So it wasn't to him or nothing. He was up there preaching, or not preaching. Well, I guess he was preaching. He was saying the prayer for that whole meeting or whatever. That's why he was on the news or whatever and shaking hands. He was up there saying the closing prayer. That's cool or whatever. I have no problem with that. But like, the problem is like, I stopped violence for real. Like, for real. I stopped violence. So, and I never ever want to take anything And like I said, I've been supporting Quintrell for whenever, sending him emails, trying to talk to him for 2 seconds. Like, bro, I'm not trying to talk to you because I want to be your friend. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you as my friend. I'm not trying to do that. It's for a bigger purpose to me. I talk to every single leader in the community. So like, first, you know what I mean? Just like how I'm talking right now. It's not a joke. So I tell him, man, bro, like, I'm trying to hit you up, dot, dot, dot. He never, ever hits me back up. Whatever. I don't want him to hit me back up. I just want him to help me help him. That's what I'm trying to do. So boom. Then he gets down at the end of it, I was just getting upset with it because at the end of the day, you have to have some action to go with that. You have to have more substance about that. And like, I don't know why it angers me for real. Cause like every time I see him on anything, at the end of the day, like, no disrespect, he's doing whatever he's doing for the little kids and stuff. He goes to St. Joseph's and gives out T-shirts. He's putting out a positive message. His little walks or rallies or whatever, that's a lot of people behind him and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you have something that valuable and that important to the community, and there has to be more substance to it than that, bro. At the end of the day, you're not going to stop violence by going in them schools with them little kids giving shirts. They're not violent yet. You understand? That's not how you stop violence, bro. You stop violence where you meet the violence. You know what I mean? You're preventing violence, and I big ups to that because we need it. But at the end of the day, I was the perfect kid when I was that young. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I grew older that I learned that how life really is, and you got to start going through some real situations that makes you this way. Everything has a cause and effect to it, right? So like if you get stuck in a situation where you're already undervalued and you got to do some other stuff just to get through, it's not necessarily that you're trying to be violent or you're trying to be anything or you're trying to be anything. You're just stuck in a situation where you have to do what you have to do to survive. So when it comes to that point, I think the types of education that we should be pushing through them schools are people like Andreas Robinson and Derricos, and then that way we can push different types of messages with some substance to it and talk about, like, I don't know, things like financial education and stuff like that. And so if you try to take something away from somebody, you have to replace it with something else, right? So you can't just tell people to stop doing stuff, stop being away if you can't replace it with a equaling factor. You know what I mean? You got to balance. So they're not going to stop to do worse. You know what I mean? So you have to show them the other side of the coin. And just so much stuff anyways. Like, do you know how many people I know that bought lotto tickets their whole life, and if they would have saved that money, that's a down payment for a house? Like, my whole life, everyone knows them. Like, I know them. I am one. You know what I mean? But it's just the train of thought that needs to get changed from younger. You know what I mean? And all kinds of stuff, like no history in the schools, all that stuff. Like, how is there no Africville history in the school books, in the social studies book? But Irving Carvery, the Genealogy Society president for Africville, worked at the school board, and I think he was president. Like, how is that possible? That's what I'm saying. People need to have agendas when they get in certain positions and this stuff, whatever. And if they don't have that agenda, then we as people need to have them types of agendas to hold ourselves accountable. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to be like the blind leading the blind, that's not going to work for nobody, especially not for no one that's woke. You know what I mean? That ain't going to work. That don't work for me.
So like now, I mean, you have a direction, and the whole purpose, pretty much a major part of it, is bringing people together to work towards a positive outlook for Black people, African Nova Scotians. And like, do you have a forum?
Yeah, no, I've been I don't know, I've been reaching out to a lot of people all over the place, like, honestly, and excuse me. And I don't know. I've been reaching out to every single person I can think of that is positive and doing something that I think is real and that comes pure from their heart. So I don't know. I got Mario Rao, that guy from the Nova Scotia Brotherhood. He's down for, I don't know, I'm putting together this little thing and bring all the creative sources and resources and intelligent minds together. And then we can come up with our own kind of plan to see, instead of people telling us the same thing, the same people in the same organizations doing the same. I'm just saying, if it's doing the same process, it's not working. You know what I mean? So if the police want to make an apology and it gets pushed back and it gets pushed back, and then they make this apology and it's just like, I'll take it with a grain of salt. But like, that's not what I don't want you to tell me what to do anymore. Like, I can speak for myself, and just as well as everyone out there that I spoke of earlier or today, they can speak for them. Those problems are our problems. You know what I mean? They're not the young Black youth that are out there going through these things. And I'm not saying it only affects those people, but what I'm saying, that's the majority of the people. Go up in Burnside, where we make up almost 12% of the population, but we only make 2.5 of the normal population. That's a problem. Like, that's a huge problem. But they're the type of things that we need to address first and foremost before we get to those type of conferences and whatever. Then they know already. Like, how can that many people in jail not be a byproduct of street checks? Illegal ones. So if street checks were illegal and they got caught on some illegal stuff, does that mean they're in jail because the cops did something illegal to them and now they're still in jail and they're never going to get out because they shouldn't have been stopped in the first place? And that's going to be looked at on a case-by-case basis. But look at those statistics and those numbers, how wide it is, 2.5 to 12%. Obviously, it had an effect. The effect is closer to the numbers closer to the ratio of how many people have been street checked, of 6 times more likely in actuality, right? So we've got to start thinking about stuff. It's just time to get together. And to me, it's not about, like, I don't care. Like I said, I'll tell anyone whatever, and then I'll come see them the next day the same way. Like, I have no feelings personally in this. This is my point of it, right? This is what I'm supposed to do. If someone could play my position, then they'd be playing it. But no one, you know what I mean? If someone could play your position, then it wouldn't be your position, right? It'd be theirs.
Do you feel the weight of the burden you carry?
Yes. But like I said, I've been feeling the weight of the burden of my life my whole life. Like, I am built for this. Like, for real. Like, I can't help it until it kills me or whatever. But that's that day. But I'm saying, like, I know struggle. I know everything I did by myself and accomplished by myself. Everything I spoke of, I did myself. I created myself. I researched myself. So if that's the sacrifice I feel I have to make, is like try to clarify the information and bring it as much to completion and this is only from my point of view, and that's what I'm saying, right? But a lot of the stuff's in my reports and stuff are facts. So that's different. But I'm saying, from when I say that it's only my point of view, is I mean that, like, another person was sitting right here would have a totally different thing that I'm not even thinking of. So I want that idea too. I want that idea too. I want his idea too. And then when we come together, it's not about one person. It's about us. We're taking heat as a community, as a whole people. You know what I mean? So we're not getting our ass beat by ourselves. You know what I mean? It's not one person in the jail. It's not one person that got street checked.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't, all that types of stuff, you have to make it bigger than about yourself, and that's it. And when you start doing that, we can start actually doing things. Anything. There's no team that's a one-man team that's a good game to watch.
Yeah.
What are you watching, golf?
Rockman, this is an amazing episode, and I have so many questions, but we're pretty much running out of time. So I'm gonna definitely have you come back so we can talk some more.
I'm with it.
But I'm gonna end with this question though. For like the
no, I do got something to say though.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing is that I wanted to say is that little community thing we're coming together with. Right now we got M.A. Rao, we got Dorico, we got AJ Simmons, Dorico Simons. We got Vanessa Fells is in the group. Devon Bundy, the community developer for the city, he's in the group. And and I'm chopping it up with 902 Man Up too. And we're chopping it up right now. That's who I was on the phone with and stuff. But that's my peoples anyway, so they in the loop already. Like, they're my people. Like, for real, at the end of the day. Like, so it doesn't matter. They only want better for everybody too.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I ask my last
do you
question?
think?
So my last question is, like, for the youth out there, what advice would you have for that kid that feels like overwhelmed or feels so oppressed? What would you give them as a way forward?
A way forward? Don't let no one tell you what you can be. That's what I would tell them, because that's what everyone else tries to do. They try to tell them kids, try to tell anybody. They'll tell you that you can't do stuff because that's something they couldn't do. But don't tell me something. Don't let no one tell you what you can't do ever in life. Like, push. All you can do is try. What's the worst that's going to happen? You fail? You're going to be in no worse position. That's what I would tell them. And other than all, you don't learn from when you just make it. You learn from the pain and the struggle. I wouldn't have all these skills if I just made it off of one thing. But at the end of the day, like, I went through a lot of stuff, and it's not like I got anything, but my mind is elevated to some places where the people's will never be. You know what I mean? Like, I see the whole picture of stuff, and because I've been on both sides of so many different situations, so all around the country. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, multiple times. So, like, to me, I see that. I see how different people live. I see how different situations happen. Yeah. But, like, I haven't just lived here. You know what I mean? A lot of people from here just lived here. So, yeah, think big. Like, the world is so much bigger than Halifax or even wherever you're from, your neighborhood. Like, think big, man. Travel. Like, get to see some things. Learn some things. That's what it is. Learn a skill. The skills you'll keep forever. Money's nothing. at the end of the day. You need skills to get money, right? So if you have a bunch of skills and stuff like that, the money will come at the end. Don't chase money. People that are chasing money probably don't even have much. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you have to, skills is what counts. It's really it.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to have you in again.
I know, because I got so much to say, bro. And, like, it's going to get taken out of context with one podcast. So, yo, I'll come back to an issue if we got one. If you see me, you know my number. If we got an issue, it's all good. But, yeah, I got some other people I got to check, too. So we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks.
This is the Blackout Podcast.
Thanks for listening.